acidity problem affecting millions of Americans. And around the world, 50% population are suffering acid problem. If you are one of the Americans who are struggling with acidity problem in your stomach and you are taking medication daily basis such as antacid or proton pump inhibitor, I have a solution for you. First of all, you should understand that the medicine you're taking that harming you, even though you think it helping you temporarily, but it harming you in the long run, because the medicine, acid reflux medicine, it is stopping absorption in the intestine and it hurting digestion system in your body. So first of all, what is acid problem? Acid problem is when your stomach have the food with acid, and your acid you need to digest the food in the stomach. So if acid level is low and this acid coming out through the esophagus to your mouth and you feel burning sensation, you feel discomfort, that is called acid reflux. And if acid is giving you trouble in the stomach, you feel pain and discomfort in the stomach, in the tummy, that is called gastritis. So gastritis happen because this lack of indigestion, endothelial cell is, and the stomach wall get inflamed, and because of inflammation you feel always burning sensation and discomfort in the stomach. That is called gastritis. And if this gastritis go for a long time, it develop many bad bacteria. For instance, parasite and yeast to grow in the stomach. And yeast and parasite eat up stomach layer. The stomach have a strong layer, but also inside the layer have a mucus layer. So this parasite and yeast eat up the, you see the mucus layer, and it also make a hole in the stomach layer. And this makes infection, and that is called ulcer. And if this infection go for a long time, it develop different types of cancer in the stomach, in the intestine and rectum and anus area. Now the point is, how can you solve the problem and where this acid problem coming from? So I'm as a practitioner and doctor, I heard this problem a lot and I have to deal with it. When some patient come to me, say, Dr. Haque, I got too much acid in my tummy. And then I say, how do you feel it? I say, I feel it coming out. So when you feel acid coming out, doesn't mean that you have too much acid. You have too less acid. Now the problem is, why too less acid coming acid to your mouth? If you have too less acid, which called acid measurement scale is called pH. If less acid, high pH. So if pH goes more than 3, the gate of the stomach is called sphincter. The sphincter get open. If the sphincter get open, then acid comes out to the esophagus and to the mouth. And pH is below 3, like the best is 2. If pH is 2, that means low, means about 2, which is called high acid. If you have a high acid, that this sphincter gate get nice and closed, then stomach can digest the food properly. So because lack of acid, pH gets high and indigestion starts, acid comes out. That is a real problem. You might heard something different. Some people, maybe your doctor told you that you got too much acid, get the antacid, which is actually opposite than what exactly happening in your stomach. Now, how can you solve the problem? So to solve the problem, first of all, you should understand that problem is in your stomach acid. So now, how can you solve this acid problem? To solve acid problem, first of all, you have to understand that you have less acid. And how can you improve the acid? If you can improve the acid, your problem is going to be solved. So to improve the acid, there is a couple of things you can do. First of all, you add some acid. How can you add some acid to the stomach so that the sphincter get nice and closed? To get more acid, what you could do, you can use apple cider vinegar. Every day, as you see in the picture, you take apple cider vinegar before your meal. You can take with a salad, and you can mix with a salad, or you can put in a glass of water and drink throughout the day. Even before your meal, you put apple cider vinegar in the water and drink that up. That should improve your acid level. You'll then gate will be closed. You can feel the good digestion and you feel comfort. And number 2 is, if you understand that human body is not only human body cell, it has a trillions of bacteria working in the system to take care of your gut, to take care of your whole system. How healthy your bacteria are, that's how healthy you are. So for instance, in itself, gut and intestine has 90% bacteria out of about 100 trillion bacteria that we call microbiomes, we call gut flora. This gut flora need to grow with a proper environment. So you put probiotic will help the gut flora to grow, that can improve your digestion. So how can you put probiotic? You can add different types of probiotic in the market, such as kefir. You can take yogurt, fermented pickle, kimchi, kombucha, fermented tea, and miso. This kind of probiotic you can eat throughout the day. Whenever you have a chance, you can with a meal. A breakfast should be probiotic, and whenever you have food, make sure you take some probiotic with the food. That way, you're taking apple cider vinegar before the food. You take some probiotic with your meal that will help your gut bacteria to digest the food coming to your stomach. And third thing I would say, eat right food. Nowadays, if you understand that this stomach is very delicate, it's very strong. The wall is very strong wall, but if it doesn't have enough acid, if it doesn't have right food, the bacteria die. Then the gut wall get depleted and get a hole. So you need to have right food so that this stomach can digest the food. Nowadays we don't eat food, we eat junk. So we have to eat food, whole food, and non-processed. So if you eat whole food, maximum raw possible, and non-processed, and raw food and non-processed, and then healthy fat, healthy protein, and then organic vegetable, certain amount of fruits. That means you have to eat whole and raw and organic sources, not with the extra pesticide, herbicide, insecticide. Then if you eat right food with a certain way, for instance, you also should be eating with a sometime eat, sometime don't eat. You should have an eating habit. What time you eating, what time you're not eating. Like a fast eat, like that. So eat right food and eat fasting and eating strategy. So with the right food, your gut bacteria, as I said, gut bacteria will grow and you'll improve your digestion system. If you improve digestion, you will be able to balance the acid level. Your digestion will be good, and if your digestion is good, you should be able to maintain proper acid system, and acid reflux will go away. And fourth thing, I would say intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is pretty famous nowadays. So intermittent fasting is, as you see the system, this system needs rest, and human body needs rest. For instance, you eating certain time of the day, and other time you don't eat. And that time you keep as a healing mood. So it's like you have a car, you send it that to the body shop, right? So you eating certain time, and other time you sending your body to the body shop, so it can heal, it can regenerate. So how can you do that? So for instance, in the morning you don't eat anything, you can eat lunch a little bit later, like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. So and dinner you take 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. So if you take dinner at 7 p.m. and from the 7 p.m. until next lunch is gonna be like around 12-14 hours. So you're eating only lunch to 6 p.m. like 6-7 hours or 4 hours. So eat certain period of time, other period of time, let body heal the wound that you have, infection, inflammation, and acidity problem, gut flora died off. So everything you can fix if you eat certain time and don't eat other part of the day. It's called intermittent fasting. Many research actually supporting that. Recently, American government approved several $1 million to do research on that intermittent fasting, how human physiology get changed with that intermittent fasting. And if you see the different religion, you see the Buddha, you see the Christianity, they fasted for 40 days. Buddha, they fasted certain time. Muslim culture, you see Muslim culture, they fast whole month from sun up to sundown. So, and to the religion, to science, everything support that you should have certain time, you should be fasting that help your body to improve digestion. And science supporting all the ideas, all the concept of fasting, not eating for a certain time, get body heal on that time. That would be extremely helpful. You can try that. And then chew properly. Nowadays we don't chew properly, because if you don't chew properly, food you eating in here in the mouth and coming through your stomach as a raw food, as an undigested food. But digestion starts from here, because you have a couple of gland in here. That gland salivate your food by giving some enzyme. So digestion starts from here. They need to be digested. The part need to be digested in the mouth. Then esophagus get muscle contraction and send your food into the stomach, right? Then stomach do stomach's part. But you should finish your digestion in the mouth. The parts need to be digested in the mouth. Otherwise, the stomach cannot digest that. If stomach cannot digest that food, it grows the bad bacteria. It makes you discomfort. Its nutrient cannot be absorbed in the intestine, and the liver get no intestine from the food. You eating the food, you don't digest the food. You don't actually digest the food, don't get any nutrient. Look at the data. 50% American are suffering lack of fatty acid. Don't you think American people eating fat? They do, but they don't chew properly. They don't digest properly. How they going to absorb the nutrient, the fatty acid from the fat molecule? So the problem is we don't chew properly. How much is chew? How many times you need to chew? I would say 40 times. Do you know Buddha, the Buddhism? He ordered his follower to chew 100 times, and I personally tried chewing like 40 times. It's fantastic. It helps you to enjoy the taste of the food, and you feel awesome. The food gonna be digested and you feel energetic. So food need to be digested, food need to be chewed to be digested. Okay, and then you have to de-stress. We are stressed out for so many reasons. Society we are in, we have a job pressure, we have a peer pressure, we have a society issue, we have a family issue, we have stress everywhere. What you need to do, you have to de-stress every day or every other day. You have to, on a regular basis, you have to go out and sport to work out. It could be sports, it could be swimming, it could be running in the air, but it should be something outdoor activity to de-stress your body, to make your body alkaline, inhaling a lot of oxygen and exhaling your carbon dioxide, and that's gonna be fantastic. It will also help you to hormonally balance, it will support your adrenal, it will improve your kidney function and acid level and everything. It's gonna be tremendous. So try it, outdoor activity, that will help. So also I want to tell you also what you're gonna do instantly. For instance, you're feeling sensation right there. You're feeling burn, you're feeling pain, you're feeling some kind of discomfort. What you can do that is gonna go away, instantaneously. So what you can do a couple of things. First of all, you can eat an apple. If you feel burning, pain, and then reflux going on, just chew an apple or chew a clove. You see the flower, spice, clove. So chew a clove or eat an apple or part of apple if you're diabetic, and you feel better. Also, you can drink some milk. Milk is acidic. So your goal is to put some dietary acid to fill up the deficiency of acid, to close the door of the stomach, which is called a sphincter, so that you can feel comfort. Number 1 is apple, clove. Number 3 is eat some amount of milk. You also could do which is ginger tea. So take some ginger tea or the black tea. You'll feel awesome, and you'll feel all your gastric, all your acid reflux is gone. Okay, try it. So I hope these 7 tips helps you, and if it helps you, make sure you share with other people so everyone can get benefited, because this is the most dangerous problem in the society. As I said, 50% people in the world are taking acid medication, and this medication leading us to many diseases up to the cancer. So help everyone to get out of the disease, follow my 7 tips and share with others. Thank you.